Today, I'm gonna be showing you guys how I was able to sell over $1 million in annual sales in my company, learning from world's finest chocolates. 3 reasons of how I was able to do this. I actually started selling world's finest chocolate back in 3rd grade. This was something I had never done before. I was super scared, but I really learned 3 very strong principles. The 3 principles are: don't be afraid, body language, and use what you got. Number 1 is don't be afraid. I was a little kid when I was doing this, and I was a little bit afraid to talk to people. I didn't know how to talk to people, but the repetition of going up to people at a food court non-stop with hundreds and hundreds of chocolates, that repetition really took that fear out of me. I was scared of being rejected. I was scared that they would ignore me. I was scared that they would say something that would offend me. I was scared that they didn't want to talk to me. I was super scared. I had never done it before, but every single time that I did a repetition, that's really what got me over the hump. And this is at 3rd grade. I think I was maybe 8, 9 years old at the time. And I remember running to my mom, and I was always scared to go at the start of the day, because at the start of the day was kind of like getting the nerves out. But once I started with 1, then I went to 2, then I went to 3, and it just got easier and easier. And this is what helped me. So this is the same thing that I tell any of my entrepreneurs or wantrepreneurs that are thinking of making businesses. The first thing is really learning to get over that fear. Now, the second thing that I learned was how to deal with body language. So I learned real fast that going up to somebody with chocolates and saying, "Do you want these chocolates?" is not the same as going up to them and saying, "Hey, these are my last 4 chocolates and I'm raising money for school. Would you do me the favor to buy these?" Okay, I also added a speech in there. But if you can see, my body language completely changed. So I really learned to use emotion. And number 1 was just smiling. So just smiling when I went to go talk to a customer made a massive difference. It just made the person feel good, made them want to listen to me, made them actually be like, who is this person? What are they selling? What do they want? I was really able to learn that with repetition. Number 2 was the difference of having a whole box of chocolates and having my last 4 bars of chocolate. So what I would do is I would put the chocolate box with my mom, and I would grab 4 and I would go up to them. And sometimes they would ask me, "Oh, are those your last 4 chocolates?" I would say, "Yes, of course. Would you love to buy them so I can finish for the day?" So that was really where I was learning those kind of techniques. The other thing as well, I did learn the difference between who is going to be paying for the chocolate bar and who actually is going to be eating the chocolate bar. So it was really important when I went up to a table of a family, instead of going directly to the father, who typically would tell me, "No, my kids don't want this," I would go directly to the kids and kind of show it in their face or even put it in their hands. So once they already had it, already opened it. A little unethical, but it's the truth. It's what I did. Obviously at 3rd grade, I didn't really know what I was doing, but just from instinct, I started learning that. The other thing was actually speaking to the woman, if it was a couple, and making eye contact with the woman and saying, "Hey, would you want your boyfriend or your husband to buy you this chocolate?" and make a little face. Body language. Okay, so that's really important. It's not just about not being afraid. It's also about going in there with some confidence, smiling, and then knowing who your customer is. All of that is really important. The other thing as well is I would always go up to people, if they're eating, for example, food. It was a lot easier for them to buy chocolate. But if they're already eating an ice cream, they're typically not going to buy another chocolate unless they just felt sorry for me or they were going to give it to somebody else. So learning as well what the client actually wants is part of that body language as well. Now, number 3 is use what you got. Okay, I'm sorry, but this new generation is always complaining. Stop complaining and use what you got. Whether you're a white guy, an Asian guy, a black guy, I don't care what you are. I don't care where you're from. Okay, use what you got. At that point, I was a 3rd grade little kid. Okay, I used pity. Okay, I used pity for everything to try to get that sale across, and I just used kindness. I was just being nice to people. And this really applies to any job you have. This applies to any business you have and any clients that you have. use what you got, okay? If you're a small guy or you're a tall guy, okay, standing up straight, dressed professional, clean faced, showered, no cursing, all of that is using what you got. Whether you're short or you're tall, all of those things are part of presentation. People will judge you no matter what color you are, no matter where you're from. And you're gonna deal with different types of people from different places with different judgments, different stereotypes. So don't use it as an excuse, and also don't give people an excuse, okay? So making sure that your presence and you're presentable is gonna be a big difference when selling. Use what you got, okay? And the same exact thing, you also, if you are opening up a business and you are going to be doing the sales, also think about that. You know, I'm a big guy, 6 foot 230, okay? I'm not going to go and start selling makeup and, you know, testing it on myself. I'm probably not going to be the best person for this. But if I hired a, you know, little feminine girl who's pretty, who likes to put on makeup and has a passion for it, she's probably gonna have a much better job at selling this. So when I say use what you got, not necessarily do you have to sell the actual product, okay? Sometimes you're gonna start a business and you might be the main salesperson, okay? But sometimes you may not be the main salesperson. You might be hiring somebody. So take that into account. You also can put yourself in the best position, but sometimes you need to hire a better person who can be placed in the same exact position. So thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, make sure to comment down below. Make sure to like it. I'm brand new to YouTube, so every single like, every single comment, every single share makes a big difference. I'm actually filming this today before I have an improv show, so I'll probably post a little bit more about that. It's my first one. I'm honestly a little nervous. It's gonna be at Just the Funny. And I'll also link world's finest chocolate bars so you guys can see it. I think it is, if you have kids, I think it's the best thing for them to start learning how the value of money is. It teaches them, you know, how to sell. It teaches them, you know, just a lot of life skills that I've applied for myself. And I really attribute it thanks to my mom for forcing me every single day after school to go sell. Thank you guys.